Hello and welcome. Today, you will learn English through another motivational story. Have you ever reached the end of one difficult chapter in your life, only to realize that the next chapter doesn't magically become easier? Sometimes, you finally get the opportunity you were hoping for. And then you realize you still have to figure out what to do with it. This is David's story. The morning after, everything seemed to change. David woke up before his alarm. For a few seconds, he lay still, staring at the ceiling. His room was quiet. The morning light came through the curtains, creating a thin line across the wall. He reached for his phone and checked the time. His alarm was still set for 6:30. David sighed and placed the phone back on the table. He had slept badly, not because anything terrible had happened. Actually, things were finally starting to look better. That was the strange part. For so long, David had been worried about getting an opportunity. Now that one had finally appeared, he couldn't stop thinking about what would happen next. He got out of bed, showered, dressed for work, and prepared a quick breakfast. Before leaving, he stood near the door and looked at himself in the mirror. He adjusted his shirt, then smiled slightly. One day at a time, he picked up his bag and left. The walk to the community center was familiar. The same streets, the same shops opening for the morning, the same people waiting for buses, but David noticed something different. For the first time, he wasn't walking to work wondering whether his life was going anywhere. He had something to work toward. It wasn't much yet, but it was something. When David arrived at the community center, Daniel was already inside. Daniel was sitting at one of the tables, looking through a stack of papers. He looked up. "Morning. Morning. You look tired." David smiled. "I didn't sleep much." Daniel laughed. "Why?" David put his bag down. "I kept thinking about everything we need to do." Daniel leaned back in his chair. "We haven't even started yet." "I know. Then you're already worrying about problems we don't have." David laughed. "You're probably right." Daniel pushed a folder across the table. "I wrote down some ideas yesterday." David opened it. Inside were several handwritten notes, possible activities, people they could contact, things they would need. David read through the pages carefully. For a while, neither of them spoke. Then David pointed at one of the notes. "This could work." Daniel nodded. "I thought so too." David looked at the list again. There wasn't anything impressive about it. No big building, no large budget, no team of professionals. Just two friends sitting at a table, trying to figure out how to turn an idea into something real. David looked around the room. The community center was still quiet. A few chairs were stacked against the wall. A notice board stood near the entrance, the same place where he had spent so many difficult days. He remembered how uncertain he had felt when he first started working there. He remembered mistakes he had made. He remembered the folder he had lost. He remembered the days when he had gone home wondering whether anything in his life would ever change. And now, he was sitting at the same table, planning something of his own. Daniel noticed him staring into the distance. "What are you thinking about?" David smiled. "Nothing." Daniel raised an eyebrow. "That usually means something." David laughed. "I was just thinking about how different things feel." Daniel nodded. They are different. David looked down at the papers. Yeah. Then he picked up his pen. So, where do we start? Daniel smiled. Now you're asking the right question. They spent the rest of the morning making a simple plan. They decided to start small. There would be no big event, no complicated promises. Just one afternoon at the community center where people could come in, ask questions, share information, and find out about services available in the community. David wrote everything down carefully. He checked the details twice, then a third time. Daniel noticed, "You've checked that 3 times. David looked up. "I know. You don't trust your own handwriting?" David laughed. "I trust it. Then why keep checking?" David thought for a moment. "Because I don't want to make the same mistakes again." Daniel nodded. "I understand." They continued working. By lunchtime, they had a basic plan. It wasn't perfect. There were still things they didn't know. There were still questions they needed to answer. But for the first time, they had something they could actually begin. When David went home that evening, he was exhausted. He placed his bag beside his bed and sat down. His room was quiet again. He looked at his hands, then at the notebook on his desk. He opened it. For a moment, he wasn't sure what to write. Finally, he wrote, "Today, nothing extraordinary happened." He paused, then continued, "I went to work. Daniel and I made a plan. We still don't know if it will work." David looked at the words. Then he added one more sentence. "But maybe I don't need to know that yet." He closed the notebook. The next morning wasn't going to be easy. He knew that. There would probably be mistakes. There would probably be disappointments. There might even be days when he wanted to give up. But David had learned something during the past year. You don't always need to know where the road ends. Sometimes, you just need enough courage to take the next step. And for now, that was enough.